Are you talking to us?
Sister Charlotte? Shirley?
Shirley and Carol?
Hi. Hey, sister. How we doing?
Hey, Elder.
Hey, sister. How we doing, sisters?
All right.
Okay. How we doing? We have our Elder Ricard on the line. You had a question about the law.
Right.
Okay.
We in reference to the 613 laws.
Okay.
I understand where Elder Ricard is coming from when he says that this could be Kabbalistic or Talmudic, that type of thing, and that we need to stay away from their numbers and things of that nature. But a challenge comes up if we say just the 10 laws that he gave to Moses. And that is like a homosexual will say, that is not part of the 10 Commandments, so I don't have to worry about that. And this is from real life. I've heard this.
Right.
That's why, and then they'll say, well, what about the food, the dietary laws, and things of that nature? So could Elder Ricard address that?
Elder Ricard?
Absolutely. Now, when it comes into, like I said, all laws encompasses the 10 laws, right? You with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. According to Scripture, according to the beginning, how does two flesh become one?
Male and female. Right.
They become one through what you would call reprocreation, when one of the first laws he gave man and woman was to be fruitful and multiply.
Right.
So when it comes into the thou shalt not commit adultery, when you look at the word adultery, it links also to the same word as fornication. It's synonymous in a lot of different areas. So just because it says adultery there, most people just equate that to male and female or someone going out on their husband when in a lot of context it's thou shalt not commit fornication.
Okay.
So if you're not dealing with it according to the law of what the Most High said in the law, then everything outside of that is fornication.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You understand? So, and not only that, I've dealt with that with someone who was teaching, a Jewish guy who was teaching some of these cats in all black, and he came and posed that same question and didn't know that we deal with the Hebrew too. And my point to him was, listen, brother, don't come up to me with this. And I told him this. Don't come up in the street to us with this, brother, because you are the people that are in Hollywood promoting all the things that are wrong in the world.
So true.
Including homosexuality and everything else. All right? So, I don't want to hear anything you guys have to say.
Mm-hmm.
But for our people, yes, there are important laws that are not in the 10 Commandments. Like, for instance, where it says you're not supposed to wear two different linens with each other.
Right.
Okay? That's not in the 10 Commandments.
That's true.
You understand? But that's why Christ told us. That's why he died, so that we can have grace for the laws that we have no power to follow.
I got you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You understand? Mm-hmm. I mean, we're living in the earth today where you're sinning almost by waking up and breathing.
Yeah.
They built a world of sin in which, without grace, none of us would make it.
That's true.
You understand? And the Most High will give us an opportunity. I'm not saying don't read all the laws, but I'm not going to 613 garbage they talking about. Okay?
Their interpretation.
If someone want to start rehearsing the righteous acts and say, well, listen, when I go shopping, I'm going to make sure that whatever linen I'm wearing is the same linen, or whatever the case is. They have that choice. Mm-hmm. It's rehearsing it and getting used to it. That's good. But those are not sins unto death.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's just us putting on our culture, which is highly important that we need to start looking at it, because in the wilderness, our sin will be our judgment. You understand? So, but I don't see no opportunity to put on part cotton and part polyester in the wilderness.
Right. Right.
So it's so it's just where our focus needs to be.
Okay.
It's just like, where should we spend our time in focusing? We can't focus on the distractions they put out there to have us deal with their Kabbalist, Satanist, and sorcery teaching.
Right.
Because it leads back to the same path.
Right.
Okay?
Well, yeah, I understand now. That's a very good answer. Thank you very much.
Yes. Very smart.
I did have very smart. I did have a comment in reference to something that my sister and I stumbled upon on the web the other day. It's a gentleman named Claude Anderson, and you might have heard of him. He's not religious, but he is worth you listening to in reference to him identifying the symptoms that we're under as far as the blacks in this country. He goes through a whole rendition of all the laws that were put on us to make sure that they kept us down. It's just a suggestion. If you ever get a chance, his name is Claude Anderson. Next.
Well, thank you. I'll make sure I write that down here.
I'll even send it as an email because I like to send it.
What Claude Anderson does is he shows the breakdown from a historical vantage point of how these devils have, and this world has taken us and tried to make us into a permanent underclass. And I mean, of course, scripturally, that's where the Father said we would be, but nonetheless, he shows everything historically, how it was deliberately done by them. And it's just amazing.
Oh, well, beyond any shadow of a doubt.
For example,
they not just tried. They didn't just try it.
They did.
They have accomplished it.
Oh,
yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Yeah. He goes through the fact that the word racism didn't really exist, and I know you've talked about that before. But the word was just the word race, meaning a race for resources and power. And then when it came down with Darwin, they took that word race, knocked off the E, and turned it into racism. And so therefore they have us fighting a different battle. We're fighting to sit next to them, to eat in their shops, to ride in the same car with them while they're fighting for the power of the world and the resources. So that's how they are able to bring in homosexuals and anything, a woman, into this so-called civil rights movement. They're not even interested in that. They're interested in power and resources.
Destruction.
Yeah, so we're so distracted, it's a shame. But it's worth looking at. So he's very, very intelligent. But one more thing I wanted to say, I don't know if you're what I wanted to suggest is that at the end of all of your videos, as an advertisement, it might not be a bad idea to put up on the screen the days that you do blog talk, Sabbath class, because I'm serious. I know people who are watching you and don't know where to turn after that. Because, like, the website isn't there anymore, so it's really hard for them to know what to do. So it's just a suggestion. I think it might help. And last time I spoke, I always come on, but anyway, last time I spoke, I suggested that we get an actual program, and you did mention, and the other guy mentioned that it might be a challenge that they might put us off the air, but how about if we just put an advertisement up, Sabbath class or whatever? That's like a minute.
Okay. We'll do that. We'll do that. We're going to actually act on that particular suggestion. And also, I thank the Most High. Hopefully we'll have this. I've been working on this site for the longest, and I think we're going to have something in a few days. We actually want to have the site up before Christ come back. So I mean that that statement alone lets you know how frustrated I am with this process right now.
You know, I used to do it as a living. I used to actually build those things, but I didn't build the technology side. I built the side that a lot of people don't realize they need. Is someone to come in and talk to you on exactly what are you trying to accomplish, lay the whole thing out, and then give it to someone who's just going to design it and build it. That's the easier part.
Well, we got a guy that I really trust that once it's finished, it's going to be worth it. You know, and I don't want to discourage him, but all in all, that's the frustration of not having it up. But it'll be up there soon. I apologize. And what you can do is you can always go, even though there's only one video there, we did it on purpose, just as a networking page. Mm-hmm. A Gathering 144.
And that's on YouTube, or is that a website? Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
We've got an A in the front, Gathering 144. You go to that page, you will see the song Zion on it. All the favorites of what's going on in the earth right now, we favorite on that page. You can look at the favorites. But if you want to network or go to the bulletin board to find out what's going on a daily basis, that's where you need to go. Now that I see that, I believe to some degree that they have stopped censoring us because they just can't stop it, because if they pull down one website and 30 pop up. I think, and I thank the brothers for that. Now that they feel they can't censor us no more, I think that we can start putting the videos back on A Gathering 144. But nonetheless, you can still go there to find out what's going on a weekly basis. And maybe, you know, they've done a good job in fragmenting the work so far to where it's harder, it's more tough for people to actually contact us. They've done a great job. I mean, they sat down and thought about it, and you can tell they thought well on this one. But all in all, you're not going to stop it because it's going to filter through someplace. So we're not going to get frustrated. We'll keep pushing on. We'll take your suggestions. We'll do something with your suggestions, and that's all we can do.
Right. Well, fantastic. And I wanted to encourage the ones that have family members who are in the Sunday worship. It's a very interesting thing that Sunday, they can tell us that we're very legalistic by trying to go on Saturday, but why do they put up such a fight to go on Sunday if that's not a law?
Thank you. Hey, that's a good point. If it's not a law, why do you do it every Sunday?
Yeah,
and it's like a law to me. Can I come Monday? Can I come Monday and get all this?
Absolutely.